the people coming in now at this point in time to promise Super Eagles 500 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion, they were there before the Nations Cup started. If they really love Super Eagles and they really love Nigerian football team, they will come in from the beginning of the tournament to say, guys, what is the problem? What are you going to do before this Nigerian team, before this AFCON start? I want you guys to go there and win.
Kudos to all the team players, but special regard to someone like Calvin Bassey.
The semi-finals has been played, and the first semi-final was between Egypt and Senegal, which Egypt lost 1-0, and the second one was between Nigeria and Morocco, which they played out a goalless draw in the regulation time. But getting into the penalties, Nigeria lost to Morocco by 4-2. How about Nigeria-Morocco? Controversy. So much controversy.
The only little controversy that was in that game, I think it was because of few misdemeanor from the referee. But aside that, I think the ball was played 90 minutes, thereafter 120 minutes, and the winner that got to the final ended up in a penalty. It was a good game. But however, I think in terms of Nations Cup, Nigeria have Nations Cup trophies in our trophy museum. 3 Nations Cup trophies, 1980, 94, 2013, while Morocco only have one that was won in 1976. And they came runner-up in 2004, in which Tunisia won them, goals scored by France, Eludo, Donside Santos, the Brazilian that, you remember that shot, Dos Santos and Zaid Jaziri. Then in that same team, we had people like the present Moroccan coach, Wahid Regagru. He was in that team. Maroun Chamak, former Arsenal player. Yes. Then this coach of Orlando Pirates, Abdusalam Audu, that was in 2004. They came on us. But the Moroccan side has developed a very lovely and combative team. A team that has potentials, not for the now, for the future, because of the upcoming one. If you check down the 20 team, won the FIFA, the CAF team of the year and all of that, building a developmental team that will take them the next 10, 15 years away from now. And in the last World Cup, they came in as they got to the semi-final, which gave an history to African football and all of that. So going to that game, it was not a team. I never saw Nigeria saying it as an easy meat to chew and all of that. But that game proper, the Moroccans took the ball quickly, swiftly to us, and it disorganized us. If you watch the first 10 minutes, there was actually no bearing from the Super Eagles side. The first 15 minutes, no bearing on the Super Eagles side. As soon as we lost the ball on the midfield, as soon as the Moroccan side lost the ball in the midfield, a person in the Nigerian team hold the ball in the midfield. You see like 2-person, 3-person running after. Now, if you look at the Osimhen at the forefront, let me start from the forefront, from the front line. You see that Akko was not functional. Osimhen, the only time you saw Osimhen play is when it tilts down a little bit to the midfield to win a ball so he can initiate the attack. But you see, at every point in that time, the Super Eagles play with their traditional 4-3-1-2. But you see, the tactics before the start of the game, what we saw on the screen is 4-3-1-2. 4-3-1-2. Now, the opposition side, the Moroccan side, come with a 4-3-3 formation. But you see, sometimes the tactics or the formation that is put on the screen is not actually what is executed on the pitch of play, just to sway the opponent of what the other team want to do. And I know so much that the Moroccan side know what the Super Eagles team are capable of from the flank play and the attack. That's why they employed that tactic so that they can break the flow of the Super Eagles. At every point, they lose the attack. You see 2 people running after whosoever is holding the ball. At any time Osimhen want to run out of the flank, you see somebody is with him. And when somebody run away with him, number 6, their number 4 drop to form a depth. So before Osimhen, any ball that is given to Osimhen, they already cut the flow. That's why you see throughout the entire first half, there was no flow to the attack. Bruno Yemechi tried to no avail. Osai Samuel tried to no avail. So this left fullback and right fullback, they were supposed to be running the flank and launching ball to the attack. They were even under much pressure because there was a break in the midfield. Are you getting it? Indeed, the vacuum showed yesterday. Now, Onyedika, some people may want to heap blames on him. I will not heap blames on him like that because he's a human and he's a footballer. He played in a position, don't forget, he's a newcomer in the Super Eagles fold. He played in an unusual position. I get what I'm trying to say. Now, he even affected Iwobi's performance because if you check very well, Iwobi was playing deep into the defense line. That is why Iwobi was not playing any penetrative pass in the game. He was consenting to play diagonal pass or long thrust balls. And long thrust balls are 50-50. That's why we lost a lot of things in the midfield because the Moroccans were prepared, knowing fully well that if they steal the midfield from the Super Eagles side, Super Eagles will not be able to do anything. But however, much kudos to Nwabali. The acid test was against Morocco. The first acid test was against Algeria was a litmus test. Against Morocco was an acid test. He stood his ground. Lovely saves. He communicated his defense. He was on his toes. In fact, he was well coordinated with the game against this. But Onyemaechi as well kept Ibrahim Diaz at bay. Are you getting it? It shows his recovering ability was top-notch. Osai Samuel too couldn't play. He was doing much of defensive duties. Why? Because there was already break in the midfield. Trust me, as at 38 minutes or 40 minutes into the game, it was about 190 passes to 78 passes. The Moroccan has about 190 passes. They outplayed us. In about 75 to 80 minutes of the game, truth be told, they outplayed us. It was because we approached the game in our usual way. The Moroccans approached the game in a different way, in a different dynamics. Now, because if you check some games, if you want to outplay some certain teams, when you outplay their main men, one or two of their main men, you break down. And when you break down their main men, the game is already taken away from them. So they break down the run of Osimhen, broke down the run of Ako, and stole the midfield from us. If you watch very well, most of the pass Onyedika was making was back to the defense line. Because if he looks up to pass a ball, somebody's already with Osimhen, somebody's already with Ako. So there was no way for him to play protruding passes. Are you getting it? So some of the ball, instead of we moving forward, we playing the ball backward to start again from the defense line. And that is why you see somebody like Calvin Bassey work extraordinary against the Moroccan side. If not for somebody, all of them performed very well. For them to have played the game to 120 minutes, they performed very well, not to concede a goal. They tried. Even with the ball possession, the shot at goal, at some point it was 6 shots at goal and 0 for Super Eagles. Yeah. 0 for Super Eagles, 6 shots at goal. Passes, ball possession, they dominated everywhere. So I was not even expecting that Super Eagles was going to stay for 120 minutes without scoring a goal. They tried, though the penalty was actually decided. It must go either way of the side. But the midfield is, see, after every game, it calls for sober reflection when you lose. Even when you win some game, you have to dig deep and see where you have gotten it wrong or where you've gotten it right. Even at the end of the day, when those changes came up into the picture, when he brought in Moses Simon, perhaps people are asking, why is he always bringing Moses Simon? He's the coach. He knows who to. Maybe he was bringing Moses Simon so that Moses Simon can forge the attack. Are you getting it? Take the ball to the opponent's side, but he never ready that.
Take the ball to his opponent on his own.
Take the opponent, see if he can wriggle out of the number 2, which was Ashraf Hakimi. Highly experienced Ashraf Hakimi. Now, I don't know if you never noticed that the midfield, the heart of the team, the midfield was actually taken away from us. And he noticed that Iwobi was not at the center circle. He couldn't make any passes because the game was a high-tempo game and the Moroccan side has already stolen the midfield play from us. Iwobi was playing deep. Watch very well. Iwobi was forming a 5-yard a 5-yard between him and Bassey. Then Bassey will give him the ball sometime. He will looking for who to pass for. You will not see. So sometimes he make diagonal pass to the far right, trying to locate Osimhen. But it's an area duel. You cannot win 2 people on the ball. So the game against Morocco, I think we should always understand that even as we win in every matches and try to get to the next level of every game, we should ensure that every enemy comes with a game plan, with a game strategy. You don't approach same game every game with the same style, with the same formation, with the same antics and all of that. It may not work out well because the Moroccan side read the Super Eagles, watched our games the way we've been playing, and came up with another pattern, not to allow Osimhen flow, not to allow Ako flow, and break down our midfield flow. So the game was completely so. Our right full back, the Osai Samuel and the Bruno Onyemaechi, they were doing much of defensive duties rather than doing much of the attacking, in which they were doing in our past 5 matches. Are you getting it? Now, look, you notice very well that Semilogo Ajayi made about 3 faulty passes. The first faulty passes he made, thank God,
He recovered.
he recovered quickly, blocked the ball. Maybe perhaps that was where the first goal would have come in for the Moroccan side. And trust me, if goal had come in at that time of the game, more goals would have been ushered in either of the posts. Are you getting it? But he made some faulty passes because the way Moroccans approached the game was quite different from other opponents we've been having. Are you getting it? They were strong, they were energetic, they were ebullient, they were just all over everywhere. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So, well, they gave Super Eagles a run for their money. They were at home. They played as team they were at home. They played as a team that actually wanted to retain their trophy. They want to host and win as so many countries like Cote d'Ivoire just did in 2023 and all of that. So when the Super Eagles tried, they got to the semi-final. And one of the kudos I want to give to the Super Eagles, not conceding a goal till the end of the 90 minutes regulation time with 15 minutes again. They tried playing with the host nation and playing with a team that is highly compacted, that have been molded for up to like 7 years. It's not easy. They tried. Let's see what happens as the game goes by.
Chima, Eric Sekochel, in his press interview, he said he was going to allow the Moroccan play in the first half, dominate the game in the first half. In the second half, he will play. Do you think his approach affected Nigeria in this in that particular game? I mean,
Yes, the approach of the Super Eagles came out that game. They came out for that game to get a draw. From the approach, from what I saw from that match, the Super Eagles did not come in with their real approach. Irrespective of how the Moroccans have set up their team, I believe that the Super Eagles came into that match with the mindset, with fatigue, with a lot of fatigue. I have a message to pass out to the Super Eagles and to pass out to Nigerians. But before I pass out that message, I still need to answer your question. Firstly, the way they played in that game, in as much as I give kudos to the Super Eagles, very, very well, and there are my reasons. I have a lot of reasons why I give kudos to them. Morocco is the number 1 team in Africa, one African best team according to FIFA ranking. They are number 11th in the world. A team for how many years that have been building this team. Infrastructure in Africa, they are one of the best. If you look at their stadium, look at everything. In terms of league, they are one of the best in Africa, joining with Egypt League and South African League. They are one of the best. Now, everything need to play into this game. And coming into this game, honestly speaking, Osimhen and the whole team player that played this match, they deserve to be applauded. Because if I explain my reasons finish, I believe you are going to see my point from it. Now, this team, even though I did not really like the way they played, Onyedika, yes, we all said that if Ndidi had been there, it would have been better. Maybe it would have been better, but I still believe the same result would have still happened because there was no way, from what I saw, there was no way we would have outplayed the Moroccans because tactically they outplayed us, playing in the crowd. Even while the match was going on, one of my friends in the stadium watching the match sent me some videos, I said, what is happening there? Why are Super Eagles playing? And he said, man, bro, if you see the crowd in this place, if you see how they are cheering their team, all of those, that all these things used to play in. But now, Onyedika, yes, he did badly in that midfield, doing badly, but the pressure, coming to replace a captain of a team in that game of that magnitude, everybody was against, shouting, he did not play. Yes, he might not play, but the same Onyedika, we have not been giving him chance to play all this while. Then if you give him chance, 2 matches in AFCON, the first one, he got man of the match, scoring 2 goals. And now, especially the second one, he did not do it. Yes, sometimes footballers, it happens like that. We friendly did that. We play for us for many years. This will be one of the best performances. Even in the AFCON, the first match against Tanzania, he did not still do well. If not for the integration of Frank Onyeka into that midfield, he will not be doing against Congo in the World Cup qualifier. All the matches they have not been playing Onyedika in those days. What has Ndidi done in the Super Eagles? So he has been playing well when he just came to the Super Eagles. Ndidi himself have lost from what Onyeka was brought into that team again to help that midfield. So helping that midfield, that was why we could see the best of that midfield. So we should not really put blame on Onyedika because he played badly in that game. Yes, he did badly in that particular game, but that does not mean he should not get his chance again also. Now look at this team. This Moroccan team and Nigerian team, Super Eagles playing after 3 games, 5 games, coming. The hotel that they were lodged with the hotel that the Moroccans were lodged. If you check the facilities, that the Moroccans are using to recover is quite different from the one Super Eagles are using to recover. In the whole wide world, as a footballer, if you know what I'm talking about now,
I understand what you mean.
you will get me right. That is why I don't want to blame Super Eagles for losing this match. You get my point now. Now, a team played 4 matches. When they want to recover, they just go to the pitch. They walk around, they stroll around, they relax, sleep, come up. Then the next team want to recover. They use well-equipped machines to recover themselves well. Who will be fitter?
The ones using machines.
Now, before this match, NFF did not pay these guys money. It's not an excuse to lose. But I heard a lot of celebrities coming online to say if Nigeria did not want to play, if they find themselves, if they want to, they should be hero. They should blah, blah, blah. They should kill themselves on the pitch. I disagree with that. Those guys, even when Charles Anasoto was saying that the 1996 team, Victor Pepper, that they drove it, Victor Pepper drove their ball, this and that. Because if Pepper drove his balls, does not mean Osimhen should drive balls to the camp. Now, and because if Pepper them refused to fight for those money that time, that was why Osimhen them are still facing the same thing now. Yeah. And if Osimhen they still suffer the same thing, they will not fight for this thing now. The unborn generation will still suffer the same thing. Now, are you going to face the set of players that came to defend the country and fight for their right, or you are going to face the few or 2 or 3 individuals who are holding a whole nation captive, who are holding a whole nation captive, who want to kill the morale of the team? South Africans were knocked out of knockout round by Cameroon. They got over $11,000 per team, per player. The sport minister gave them $5 million, over $260,000 to share. And that is a team that loves. That is a team that want to encourage their boy. A team that want the best for their player. Irrespective of the result, you are human. You came to defend our country. The mistake was not yours. You played well. I am encouraging you. There's still a World Cup. There's still a lot of things, but we are doing well. You refuse to pay those guys. You begin to facilitate money at the late hour, and then you are blaming people who are fighting for their money. That is another escape. Yeah. These politicians now, people that are blaming Nigeria, politicians from Nigeria, we have medical doctors in this country. They even are medical doctors. They live in Nigeria to go to abroad, to go and work. Why? Because they don't get paid well in Nigeria, and 2, there's not enough equipment to work. It's still the same doctors, so you will meet in UK. The same Nigerian doctors in Nigeria that refuse to work here will go and work in UK and work in US. And you now, the politician, will get sick. You will fly yourself to Europe, to that same UK and Nigeria, to go and meet that same Nigerian doctor. Not because you're meeting Nigerian doctor, but because the Nigerian doctor there is good work, but with more equipped machines to revive your life faster than Nigeria. Now, NFF. Now, what is the job of the NFF? NFF, if you're a football person, administrator, you have to make sure that your players are good. Players like Osimhen, Luke Monde, these guys play in top club side in Europe. Now, these guys will come to the national team to play. Don't forget, Balogun made a statement that one of the reasons that made NFF to ban him was because he was demanding for proper facilities for the Super Eagles to theory. Now, player, you and I is having a tournament. After every match, you go back home, your country is providing you more equipped this thing. They buy a lot of machines for you to recover very faster. Why me? I'll just go to the training ground, just train well, and then come back to the camp, relax, maybe take 1 or 2 supplements, and you that are training and using more equipment. When it's time for both of us to play, fatigue we play on me more than you. Because if you watch what Super Eagles were playing in that game, this is not the real Super Eagles we know. This, if you say Luke Monde, Osimhen, the runs were not there off front. Are you going to say they forget to run? No. Are you going to say that Bruno Nimechi and Ajayi, the tiredness that you are seeing, are you going to say that they forget to pass the ball? Or Ajayi don't have long kick again to kick. They have that long kick, but fatigue played it because our NFF, our government failed us at this point. But the government of Morocco were prepared for this AFCON. They know that certain standard of the Europeans will also help them. That is why many people go to Europe to do training, because you get more bigger facilities. So now, this is the time where Super Eagles and Morocco play. The boys gave their best. Naturally, they fought on their own side, but Morocco did not just fight naturally. The equipment, the facilities that the country provided for them now equip them to beat Super Eagles. And that is why I'm telling you that Super Eagles just came to them with their clear eye to play against a Moroccan team that was well equipped. That is why in Nigeria, even if your soldiers are going to the war to fight, how many soldiers have been able to
to defeat Boko Haram. Why? Is it because our soldiers don't know how to shoot? No, but because there's not much equipment for them to fight Boko Haram. If Boko Haram can have more equipment, more than the Nigerian army, then how much more the Super Eagles, who is going for war? And then you want them to go there with their energy alone to go and fight that thing. Now, check Morocco team. From A to Z, they play in a bigger and better club than the Super Eagles. We have players there in Manchester United, playing in EPL. We have players there in Real Madrid, we have players there in Real Betis, PSG, Eindhoven, Olympic Marseille. First league, most of their players play in top club side in Europe. How many of our players are playing? So all these things played in this game that as I'm watching the game, I just have to give kudos to the likes of Osimhen, Lookman, Calvin Bass, because they fought with their own life, with their own heart. If you are not saying it from this angle, I am telling you the fact that football, that is why Hakimi got injured. When Hakimi got injured in PSG, they brought him to AFCON with injury, and Hakimi recovered on time to play this AFCON. Do you know why? Not just because the doctor were just treating, they used a better facilities to work on Hakimi so that Hakimi can recover faster to play in this AFCON. That is why you see players when they get injured, they fly them to some countries because they want to go and use more bigger equipment to play. I even thank God that Osimhen did not sustain injury in this tournament so far. So this guy gave in their own. All the people coming in now at this point in time to promise Super Eagles 500 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion. They were there before the Nations Cup started. If they really love Super Eagles and they really love Nigerian football team, they will come in from the beginning of the tournament to say, guys, what is the problem? What are you going to do before this Nigerian team, before this AFCON start? I want you guys to go there and win. Have they paid you? The money they have not paid you, let me pay this money. But these guys are coming. I see it as a show up, because if you love your country and you love these guys and you love what they are doing, you will not wait until getting to quarter final before promising them 500 billion or 1 billion to give them money. People that they have been owing, when they were owing them, why don't you come and say, okay, how much are they owing you? Let me transfer the money for you to use that. But now, after the Nations Cup, now everybody will go by, no infrastructure in the country. If they send $1.2 million to the NFL, they will squander with the money. You wait again to invite players to come and use their energy to come and be playing on the field of play. When football have been advanced more than that, if you check South African team, Moroccan team, they have no facilities, everything. All these things tells in the players, because that is why when some players come to the national team, if they are well equipped, if they are well relaxed, if they have enough machine. See, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Vinicius Junior, these guys even go as far as using their money, more than $100,000 to buy machines and keep in their house, machines that will help them to recover, so that after every game they will look more refreshed, they will look more okay to face the next man. That is why you can see players like Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 41 still playing football, not because it's their natural power. All these men now play football at the age of 35, 40 is because they are not investing into their life, into their career, and the clubs where they are playing are now providing more equipment that to make their player last longer, recover faster to be able to face this match. But now we leave Nigerians alone. The Super Eagles, because they are rich, because they play in Europe. When they come to the Super Eagles to play, we just leave them to use their honorary strength to go and play. Even when they ask for their money, you come online to say, why would they be asking for money now? They should go and play, they should go and die for the country. You that you are saying that they should go and die for the country, if they bring you in to go and fight Boko Haram, to go and die for the country, how many those that have died for the country, what have the country done for them?
Anyway, you've spoken your opinion.
So my blame for this Super Eagles, I'm not blaming them at all. Even though we have to analyze how they play, yes, but I am not blaming them totally, because the team they played again was well equipped more than the Super Eagles. Fatigue have played in. If Super Eagles were happen to be one of this European team, then you see them the type of recovery machine they will have used before this game, that will have even helped them. There were a lot of tiredness in that game. So everything that you saw there was just manpower that those guys were using to fight those Moroccans in that atmosphere, in that stadium, on the turf there, and playing a team home advantage that is good like Moroccans too. They did not really play specially. If it was that, what of my Ryan Diaz that played? What did he play in that game? But despite that, these guys were not well equipped. They still put in their bed. They were still unable to concede. They did not even concede goal in that one. Despite all the team Morocco did. So that is, we are supposed to give kudos to the Super Eagles for all the effort they put in that game.
Anyway, I will chip in something. There is the one you said. They made promises. Somebody like Abdulsamad Rabiu Geboa owner made promises, was going to give them some money like that. Even if the NFF had not paid them, some people would have just come to pay them. Now I'll kick against that one, because it is the duty of the NFF to pay the players.
So why are they making the promises now?
So no, those ones are individual promises.
That's what I'm telling. That's what I'm saying. This is the matter of show up. If they love the Super Eagles, bro, if they love the Super Eagles, if you have such money to give them, they win that match. Then, if they have not paid them their match bonuses, and you know you wanted to motivate this are national team, you love them. Why didn't you come in to pay them that money? Whether they win or not.
No, it is the duty of the NFF.
Yes, I'm not. They don't love the Super Eagles.
Just want to create. Is a motivational.
That is
See,
they are
they
yet
want
just a
to
show off.
No, it might
From
be a
my
show.
own
They might
perspective,
look
just
at
a
it
show
that
off.
might look at it that way, but then it's Rabiu, the owner of Boa, is not the only rich
How many
Nigerian
clubs
that
does
they
he have in Nigeria?
He's not the only rich
The money he want to
Nigerian.
give them now. How
So-
many clubs does he have in Nigeria? How many
No,
clubs has he invested
He
in
has
Nigeria?
no business.
That is what I'm telling you now.
He has
That
no
what they are
business.
doing is just show
The
off.
problem we
So
have,
they should not
the
blame
problem,
Super Eagles.
the problem, he is not blaming Super
No, I'm
Eagles.
just saying from my. I'm just saying.
The problem we are having is our NFF, but that's by the way. Albert, the absence of Ndidi in that midfield reduce that fluidity in that midfield. You see that synergy that we have between Onyeka, Ndidi, and Iwobi. That triangular midfield could not get the ball to Osimhen, Ademola, and Ako. That means that Ndidi's absence seriously affected that fluidity in that midfield.
But as a matter of fact, in my own perspective, it's probabilistic. It may be in that pitch, the EVO scores 1, scores 2. Maybe that pitch we get stability. Maybe in that pitch we score.
Because the approach was different.
That's what I'm saying, that the Moroccan side know what the Super Eagles is capable of. So they came not with a formation, but a game plan and a strategy, which is the most important thing required when going to war. You don't go to several war with same strategy, right? So Super Eagles play their normal formation. That's why I said, if you look at the tactical setup on screen before the game, you saw Super Eagles 4-3-1-2. 4-3-1-2, right? You see the Moroccan side 4-3-3. But when the game started,
that one was 4-1-3 something too.
4-1-3 something. Okay, 4-1-3-2. But
Yeah,
when they started the game, it wasn't what they played. They clustered the midfield with 5 midfielders. That is why they were all possessive in the midfield. You get what I'm trying to say? So the question is, if Ndidi is in the pitch, we would have seen a different kind of football. It's probabilistic. Whichever way you want to check it. He is a player, as an individual. Only Ndidi is not Super Eagles. Ndidi is part of the Super Eagles team. So he has to play his own part while others play theirs. So what actually happened against Morocco was a game plan, a strategy. If you look very well, I did say the real person, the main person that was actually distributing pass to the attacking force was Iwobi. It was completely off against.
Because of Ndidi's absence.
Not because. See, if we allege that Onyedika play badly, does not mean he's a bad player.
No, the formation.
I'm coming.
Onyedika wasn't carrying the ball.
No. That's what I want. Look it critically from this angle. That's why I say Onyeka is a more ball player than Ndidi. Ndidi is a more combative player than Onyedika. Sorry. It's more combative. Now, Frank Onyeka is a more combative player than Onyedika. Onyedika is more of a ball player than Onyeka. Everybody has their own potential.
Between Onyeka and Ndidi, they both of them complement themselves very, very well. But in this match, Onyeka did not complement Onyedika.
Okay, look at it. I said it's a strategy. Do you know that in the first 25 to 28 minutes of the game, we were making 40 passes at the midfield? It was because the Moroccan side had about 5, if not 6 players, that the wing players was even choking the midfield. It was only left for Hakimi playing wide on the right-hand side. And what's his name? Is it Mazrou? That guy that plays for Man U. Now, there's a kind of strategy they brought into the pitch, knowing that Super Eagles have what it takes to match them. So they employ a strategy distinct from the strategy they have been playing from the first. Don't forget, this same Moroccan side drew in that second or third match?
I think
with Mali. This same Moroccan side had fought 1-0. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, they knew that Super Eagles have a more firing power. So they came with a strategy.
A different
strategy. Not even a tactic, a strategy to ensure that Osimhen must be kept at bay. Ako Adams must be kept at bay. So now, when they cut off their flow from Ako and Osimhen, and they won the midfield play, Iwobi couldn't shell passes. Ako Adams and Osimhen were just a shadow of themselves for up to like 70 minutes of the entire duration of the game. That's why we had no firepower. We had no shot on target up to like 75 minutes of the game.
No, we had one, the one at Demola kick that.
What time of the hour? I said about-
First half.
Okay, so first half. Okay, it was one shot at target.
First 13
Yeah,
minutes,
sure, yes. One shot at target compared to theirs. How many shots on target? So what I'm trying to say is this: Onyedika was in the midfield. Onyeka was in the midfield. Iwobi was in the midfield. Now, let's say we have Onyedika that is not all powerful, and Iwobi as well that is a fragile player but very intelligent with the ball. We now have only Onyeka. Now, don't forget, Onyeka was not playing deep line. Onyeka was playing his normal formation. He plays his normal style when he plays when Ndidi is on the pitch. But Ndidi can rove that midfield and soak very well the pressure of the opponent. But Onyedika can't do such because it's not configured with such kind of potential. You get in the picture? Now, so to speak, that's why the first thing first, why our midfield actually faltered and more pressure came to our number 2 and our number 3 and the defense line, which is the 5 and 6. But kudos to all the team players, but special regard to someone like Calvin Bassey. Now, the referee made so many mistakes, not giving Ibrahim Diaz and 2-3 other players yellow card when they foul somebody like Bassey. Bassey was all over everywhere on that defense line. Bassey was even somebody that was even making some kind of diagonal passes to the midfield to initiate some kind.
Even some long balls like that.
Some long balls, a lot of long balls, not even a lot of long balls. You see, but at the end of the day, more kudos again, I will say to the Super Eagles for them to play. They were outplayed by the Moroccan side, be it as it may be it by strategy, be it by tactics, be it by game plan, be it by the omission of one player and Didi by virtue of 2 yellow cards. But for them to soak the pressure of the Moroccan side till 120 minutes.
I say 120 minutes. Say 2 hours.
90 minutes plus extra 15 minutes.
That's 2 hours.
Okay, yes.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Yes, 60 plus 60, 120 plus extra. Now you see, they really tried, if not for the penalty that actually judged the both side who entered final, who goes for the 3rd place. Now, going into this game, Nigeria has appeared in about 16 AFCON semi-finals. And I think they are the African country with the highest amount of bronze medal, about 8. Yeah. Are you getting it? Now, maybe we are going for another bronze that will make it 9. Perhaps if we go and dislodge them.
9 finals. No?
Yes, if we go and dislodge Egypt. Finals, But I think every mistake in life calls for sober reflection and re-strategize, re-tactics, going back to your drawing board. Try to say, because you see, if Abraham Lincoln failed for 13 times and still become the president of America, anybody can as well achieve any level of greatness. Because we actually were so optimistic that Super Eagles is going to get to the final, given the statistics, winning game in reckless abandon from the first game in the tournament till they got to the quarterfinal. We actually proposed that Super Eagles will come all out against the Morocco. But we never look at it from the perspective that Morocco has a team that have been modern now for like 7 years, 8 years. And they now have a team that is now developing the under 20 side coming in. Now that calls for, that really sounds what the importance of a good administrative head. Yeah. Their FAs and everything concerning the football administration. Look at their stadium. As Streamer pointed out, look at their stadium. Look at their facilities. Look at everything. Are you get what I'm trying to say? It shows how ready the government is putting their efforts into the development of Moroccan football. Now, it is giving an instant impact into the team.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria played with the 11 men of the Moroccan, which are played with the 13 men of the Moroccan.
Or the 12.
Or 13. Like the 13 Moroccan. They played against
And the referee.
the fans and the referee.
Okay.
The third 11 men of Morocco team plus the fans and the referee. That's making them 13. In that stadium, I couldn't even see any area that was dominated by the Nigerian fans. We didn't have any fan base there. But 11 men of Nigeria played against the 13 men of the Morocco.
That is what I'm telling you, that I am here to pass that message. Let people understand, in as much as we have been blaming Super Eagles for so long, in as much as we attack them because we are Nigerians and we believe that there's talent in the country, and we have seen a lot of talent in Nigeria. Other African countries, they have talent, to be honest with you. They have talent too as well, but Super Eagles have tried, if you judge by their record. They have so well tried, just that somehow, technically, tactically, our coach sometimes, at some point in time, always lets us down, which makes him human. That does not mean it's not good. Coaches of Real Madrid, Barcelona to sometimes they make some mistake that they lose big matches, But now, last AFCON, Ivory Coast 2023, Super Eagles came second. They played in the final. What played out against host country in the final, they lost in that match. They were leading 1-0. Second half, fatigue played in. If you still check my statement that I said, the covering aspect, most of it
still based on
still based on facilities. If you check, these people now, Super Eagles, are like boss that when you push with their energy, they will get to a point where you need other things, other equipment to make them achieve their potential. If you are treating a patient in Nigeria now and diagnosing him of 1 or 2 diseases, there's a way you treat, you say that this doctor cannot, not that the doctor is not, but the equipment to sustain a person's life is no more there. You decide to fly the person to India or to UK or to US. Why? Because you believe there are more equipment there. Now, last AFCON, Super Eagles played. They fight Osimhen and the rest fighting. They got to final. Ivory Coast, Hungry Lion, and these teams too. Not just that they are host country, they have good players. They are good team as well. So having good team and then having home advantage, home support. Now, plays if you're playing against a team that is not good like that, then you can say home advantage does not really matter. But a team that is good, just like playing Man City or Liverpool or Real Madrid, that they are at home, knowing whether they are good, definitely you should know what you are expecting. Super Eagles later lost that match. As if they were not playing well in that fight. But people were saying that this guy no play. Do you think that inside that they don't want to play? But the energy is no longer there. But those guys now using the same energy to play with a lot of equipment. Now the same Nations Cup now again, 2 years after, Nigeria now playing in AFCON, playing well, beating every other nation. They met host country again. Good home country again. So in the last 2 AFCON now, home countries have beaten Nigeria. So if we say Nigeria have met another country that is not home country, maybe we will have beaten the country and maybe meet Morocco in final. Then if we have lost to Morocco again in final, we will say we are. So if you check the record so far, Morocco last tournament, they were beaten by South Africa in the quarter final also. Before they met Nigeria, they were beaten by South Africa 2-0 and they went to the World Cup and performed very well. So kudos to the Super Eagles, kudos to Nigeria, because they're using their manpower to play, to perform. This Moroccan team now that you are seeing now, the starting 11 against the Super Eagles, their goalkeeper Al Hilal
Bono
in Saudi Arabia, top team. Now, they have a player in PSG France. Of course, you know the player. They have a player in Manchester United. You know the player. The starting 11, though, they have a player in Olympique Marseille, France. Player in Real Madrid, Spain. PSV Eindhoven, Holland. These guys, I'm telling you, they are regular player, not just playing the third. They play regularly. Even in Brian Diaz, in Madrid, if he does not start, he will enter in the second. He went out the second half. They have a player, Real Betis in Spain. He plays very well. Olympiacos FC in Greece. Then Stuttgart in Germany, AS Roma in Italy, Torino in Italy. These guys are playing top football. Now, compared to Nigeria starting 11, our goalkeeper, Chippa United, South Africa, Birmingham City, that's Osai Samuel, in second division. All City, Ajayi, second division in this thing. Atlanta, Lukman, fine. Brentford, Onyeka, he's not playing regular. 5 minutes game of football every match. Even sometimes does not even play at all. But when it comes to Super Eagles, he gives his best as well too. Now, Galatasaray, Osimhen in Turkey. Fulham, Iwobi. Fulham again, Kevin Bassey. Club Brugge, Onyedika started. Then Sevilla, Aquadam. So if you check this club side to compare to the quality of the club, to compare to the Moroccan team. So in every ramification, this Moroccan team were higher than the Super. So Super Eagles gave their all, gave their best. If not for this type of Moroccan team, I don't think any other team will have given Nigeria a run for their money like that. So then coming to the game properly, changing the tactics of the game. You started the team like this. 10-15 minutes, you have seen the game. What makes you a bigger coach is when you start the game with your own formation. But as time goes on, you observe the game, you see the mistake. Every other people might be seeing differently or might be seeing it, but nobody can tell you there. Now, that is why you are being appointed to be in the dugout. So that means you are going to come up with your description. What am I going to do? Well, you look at your bed. What do I do to neutralize this Moroccan team? Or who do I bring in? Or which combination do I use to change what is going on? Now you are playing a game like that. Osimhen was not running. He shows clear that he was tired. He was not being fed. From the defense line, we were just romancing the ball. Not too much. From the midfield, as we disconnected. One thing, did they have more than Onyedika? This one, he has eyes. Did they can contest on the air more than Onyedika? Then, did they have that mobility? That mobility more than Onyedika. But did he now has more? He has gone to the team as a kid. He has more experience more than Onyedika. So that experience is that even if he has played, maybe he will not be drowned by that pressure so much because he has faced something like that too much compared to Onyedika, who is just a 21 or 22 years, 23 years old player and who have not been given so much time in the Super. So he came into the team with so much pressure that this match. Now, if you watch while he was playing, he was scared of making progressive passes. Why? Because he does not want to make too much mistake. By so doing that, he was too careful trying to play the ball back, which I don't even know the pattern Eritrea gave to those boys. Because as I saw the game, I was so angry the way they were playing the ball, because I don't know, maybe Eritrea purposely played that football to get to that, to drag that match to penalty. But in as much as I don't want to blame the Super Eagles at all, I still have man observation about if they have changed something different. You were leading that man, you were playing that man at a point in time. If you check 60 minutes, 70 minutes, if these guys have compacted the midfield against you, why not bring it on not you on time to make it a double striker off front with Osimhen? Remember, one of those players that will not play. If it is Akon was off in that game, which you cannot blame him. This young man have given his best from the first match to this time of the position. If it does not play, or even Ronaldo's of this world, Messi's of this world, there are some games that sometimes you will not even see them in the map, but because they are Messi and Ronaldo, they will not want to solve them. But you have to bring another player to complement them. So if you say that the pressure was on Osimhen too much, to relieve that pressure, change your style of play, change your pattern, bring it on not you. 2 man up front there, bring them in, then change your pattern, let them load balls inside that 18-yard goal from the wings. Let them see crosses inside, even from right football. I did not see crosses from Osayi yesterday. I did not see crosses from Bruno Nemechi yesterday in that game. So even though they were marketable, if you know that you have men up front, and this is the quality of Osimhen. Osimhen is not the player that will come deep to come and collect ball from your hand. He's not that type of striker. He has his own quality. So you must play with your own quality. That is why you see even Kabi yesterday against Kavibasi did not play anything. Kavibasi marked him out of the game. Brian Jack did not play anything. So this was a full tactical game. But the coach they were present. They did not see a clear-cut chances against Super Eagles, even though they played better than Super Eagles. How many one-on-one did they see against Super Eagles? How many clear-cut chances did they see? All they saw that game was just a little bit of half chances. They were just trying to shoot at goal. So they did not really just overrun that Super Eagles fair, but just that if you had a better coach that game, a better coach will have changed the plan, in that he will have told them just 1 or 2 words. If coaches like Mourinho or Guardiola happen to be our coach in that game, see well in that game, no way, just a note of paper into the piece and bring you 1 or 2 songs to come and give to that player in the middle. Say, look at what is going on for him. This defender, they cannot mark Osimhen, but just that they were standing very close to Osimhen. You should have told Osimhen what to do in that game. Then bring another top striker inside. Let them be 2 strikers. Then let them see how they are going to mark. Yes, let them see if they are going, because of Osimhen. Osimhen, if you watch, Osimhen was not coming in. Osimhen was staying up for. So the 2 defenders were staying on with Osimhen. They could not come in. So instead of Osimhen to come and mark and cover in our half, he was with them all for. So he did not allow the 2 defenders to join the attack. So they were also scared. But because our coach is not that experienced, he's a good coach, know that, to compare to African level. If you had a better coach in that game, there will have been a different game. Samuel Chukwueze will have even been brought on in that game earlier than that time, because Chukwueze in that type of game will have been a game where Chukwueze will have had the ball, take on the defender, go to Hakimi or go to Maswai, Dibu get a free kick, load the ball into the 18-yard ball. Onachu will have Osimhen will have done something better instead of romancing the ball. If you're romancing the ball, I know that these guys after romancing the ball, they are pressing 2-3 players. Then why not load the ball from defense line to the attack? Let us pursue them inside the 18-yard ball in the last 20 or 30 minutes of the game. Probably by doing that, with the power and the pace and all of those things, we will have gotten a goal. But then the coach did not do that. He was still waiting. Even when Ndidi was playing badly, he still waited until 83 minutes to do so, to bring out Ndidi out. And bringing him out, he brought in Moses Simon again inside, which was a very wrong substitution for me. So, but in all, I still give kudos to the Super Eagles, kudos to the coaches, those who fought with their heart, without even minding what the government provided for them, against other teams that was well prepared, well equipped in their own land. Not easy playing against Morocco in their own team. Not easy at all.